Every December, Catherine O'Hara becomes the world's mother. Her quiet panic and tenderness in Home Alone shape what comfort feels like at Christmas. Years before, she would run through airports or put on Moira Rose's armor, she broke through one of the toughest comedy stages as a young woman, remaking laughter itself. How does someone go from invisible apprentice to unforgettable icon, and what did she risk to do it differently? Catherine Ann O'Hara was born in Toronto in 1954, the sixth of 10 children in a house that rarely went quiet. Her father worked as a printer, her mother kept the family moving, and every night, the kitchen filled with singing and stories. In that crowded home, Catherine learned how to listen for the right moment, how to slip a joke into the noise, and how to find her own voice. Toronto in the 1960s was a city of new arrivals and old traditions, and for a girl with a quick wit, it was both playground and proving ground. Listen, and you can hear where it began. Comedy wasn't a job for women. Not really. Not in the clubs, not on television, and certainly not on the stages where the rules were written by men. But Catherine watched from the sidelines, waiting tables at Second City, the legendary improv theatre on Adelaide Street. She studied every punchline, every missed cue, and every time the audience leaned in. Then, in 1974, she got her chance. The theatre needed a new performer. Catherine stepped onto the stage, her nerves hidden behind a crooked smile, and let herself disappear into the game of making things up. Courage showed itself in small acts. Improv demanded more than timing, it asked for courage, the freedom to fail, the patience to listen, and the nerve to keep going when the joke landed flat. Catherine's comedy was never about being the loudest in the room. Instead, she brought something softer, an instinct for the odd, the gentle, the unexpectedly true. Night after night, she built a toolkit, a way to turn awkwardness into laughter, to make the strange feel familiar. What started as a survival skill in a noisy family became a way of moving through the world. Different by design and quietly powerful. By the time she joined the cast in 1974, Second City was known as the toughest comedy stage in Canada. Catherine was the only woman on the lineup, but she found her place not by outshouting her peers, but by making space for something different. In that little theatre, she learned that comedy could be a way to belong, even when you felt like an outsider. And for Catherine, that was enough to keep going. Belonging became both practice and promise. In 1976, Catherine O'Hara stepped onto a new stage. SCTV was more than a late-night comedy show. It was a proving ground for the best comic minds in Canada. The cast was a collection of fearless writers and performers, each one hungry for something bigger than the small studio in Edmonton could offer. Catherine joined as the newest member, bringing with her a quiet wit and a knack for slipping into characters that felt both outlandish and true. She was not loud, but she was unforgettable. On SCTV, she built a gallery of originals, Lola Heatherton, Dusty Town, and a parade of oddballs who lived somewhere between satire and sincerity. Her sketches did not just chase laughs. They found the soft spots in parody, the places where absurdity met a kind of sweetness. Week after week, she wrote and performed alongside legends like John Candy, Eugene Levy, and Andrea Martin, earning her place not by force, but by a steady, unmistakable presence. Recognition came quietly but powerfully. In 1982, Catherine and her SCTV colleagues won the Emmy for Outstanding Writing in a Variety or Music program. The award was not just a trophy, it was a signal. The world beyond Canada was watching. Suddenly, the girl from Toronto, who had learned to listen for the right moment in a crowded house, was now a national figure. Her work on SCTV proved that she could do more than keep up. She could lead, create, and shape the kind of comedy that lasted. Before Hollywood called, before the holiday classics, Catherine O'Hara had already shown what made her rare, a gift for making people laugh in a way that felt like comfort, and a talent that could not be ignored. Kate McCallister stands at the airport counter, voice trembling, hands clutching her wallet, as if it is the only thing she has left to offer. She pleads with the attendant, money, jewelry, anything, for a seat home. The line behind her grows restless, but she does not care. Each answer is another closed door. Her words come faster, her breath shallow. The world around her is a blur of strangers and fluorescent lights, but her focus is sharp. She must get back to her son. Catherine O'Hara does not play the moment for laughs. She lets panic settle in her shoulders, lets desperation crack through every syllable. The camera lingers as Kate tries to bargain with fate, her eyes searching for any sign of hope. She apologizes and she begs. There is no dignity left, only need. It is a moment that could have been forgettable, a mother waiting for a flight. But Catherine fills it with a kind of silent agony that every parent recognizes. She does not cry. She just sits, awake and alone, refusing to let herself fall apart. The chaos of the film pauses, and in that stillness, her performance becomes the heart of the story, a portrait of love stretched thin by distance and fear, but never breaking. In a world that keeps closing doors, someone opens one. Catherine O'Hara lets that moment breathe. She does not rush. She listens. And then, finally, the front door swings open. For a heartbeat, time holds its breath. Kevin stands in the foyer, small and waiting. Kate drops her bags. There are no words, just the silent rush across the room, the embrace that erases every mile, every mistake, every moment apart. Catherine O'Hara holds the reunion in stillness. No jokes, no speeches, just the relief of love returned, the quiet joy of being home. In that embrace, she gives the film its heart. She reminds us that comfort can be found in the unlikeliest places, a ride in a poker van, a silent hug, a mother's arms. For a moment, all is forgiven. The world feels warmer, and Catherine, without a single laugh, becomes unforgettable. Moira Rose arrived on screen in 2015, wrapped in black lace, pearls, and a voice that seemed to drift between continents. Catherine O'Hara built her from the outside in. She started with wigs, dozens of them, each chosen from a personal notebook she kept just for Moira. No two looked alike. Each one told a story, armor for heartbreak, a crown for confidence, a disguise for fear. The accent was its own invention, a swirl of transatlantic rhythms inspired by real women who built personas out of longing and pride. Catherine called it a defense of creativity, letting Moira sound both everywhere and nowhere at once. Underneath the spectacle, she played every scene with a flicker of tenderness, as if the character's bravado was only a shield for something softer. These choices made Moira unforgettable, not just strange, but deeply human and impossible to ignore. In 2020, the world finally caught up to what her peers had known for decades. Catherine O'Hara stood on the Emmy stage, the award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a comedy series in her hands. The room filled with applause that felt overdue. For her work as Moira Rose on Schitt's Creek, she was no longer just a beloved presence, she was recognized as the best. Eugene Levy, her longtime collaborator, described her genius as the ability to make the absurd feel profoundly human. The industry, once slow to notice, now celebrated her as a force who changed comedy's possibilities. That night, the laughter she had given became gratitude returned, and Catherine O'Hara's place in history was undeniable. Today, as comedy still tests its boundaries, Catherine O'Hara's warmth stands as proof that gentleness endures. Her legacy lives in every laugh that carries hope, not harm. In a world growing sharper, her lightness remains a choice, and a reminder that kindness can be unforgettable. Thanks for watching.